The reaction channel say, have you seen Cuba Rage? Like, Cuba Rage is the worst thing to happen in history. I know, right? And most of the horrible things I said, while completely emotionally damaged and is like against my and
what about the things you said about DD? DD wasn't your abuser. If you truly believed you were abused and manipulated by Nader, wouldn't it be the same with DD? You didn't consider the fact that she was in your shoes and said she deserved what she got from Nader. Or when you raged against May. May wasn't your abuser. So, why did you say those vile things about her? Becky was not your abuser, yet you chose to attack her. You did.
Berlin, let's hear it. You don't know what the I went through with that guy. He literally put out cigarettes on me. He punched me in the face. He withheld my keys so I couldn't leave. He emotionally segregated me from wanting to do friggin' therapy on myself. So what did she do? Financial? How? She was paying Beck's bills. She was paying Views and Vendetta. You got it. The fact that you guys, listen, do I need to really point out the difference? Did Beck have cigarettes put out on her when she punched in the face? She had to wipe an ass. Furthermore, I didn't make a friggin' 30-part series about it after, 3 years after. I haven't talked about the swordfish in a long time. When it was happening though, that's when I did it. That's when I did it. That's when I outed the abuse. I actually watched those live streams.
Didn't know Becky's situation either. You didn't know the mental state she was in when she got with Amber. You didn't consider the fact that she might have been manipulated and love bombed by Amber. You didn't just have those disgusting rages, especially Cuba Rage, as a response towards his abuse. You had those rages because you didn't get what you wanted from him, which were sugar-coated lies and relationship role-playing. You hated the fact that he would break your bubble of delusions after getting what you offered him, and then blocking and ignoring you afterward. She dangled all the money and gifts she had over him to draw him back into her life. Does Nader only deserve to be called out by Girl World when you want him to be called out? Does he only deserve to be deported and hanged when he does you wrong?
Go back to Egypt, you f***ing refugee piece of shit. You don't even deserve to be in Canada. You should be deported. You deserve to be by the fucking president. I was like, if she gets punched out. I don't care. I don't care if she gets strangled. I don't care. Fucking bitter. How? But we don't know, right? This is a serious accusation. He was not aggressive with me with that, though. Like, not the way she was saying. There is reason to dislike me. She said some nasty shit about me. She seems like she was an obsessed fan who wanted to insert herself, just like fucking Dee Dee. She's a fucking loony bin. Her story has more holes than Swiss cheese. She's full of shit. Obviously, I hope nothing did happen, but I really just instinctively, I feel like nothing did. She wants attention from this. Otherwise, she would not be, I'm gonna lead up and then I'm doing videos. She wouldn't be doing that. Sorry. Let's all just laugh and bees. I was also going by her messages to me. Again, if you are graped, you don't follow your rapist around the corner chasing him for sex. So number one, if that did happen. Number two, you don't message them the next day giving them shit for ignoring you, for rejecting you. You don't do it. I saw those with my own eyes. He's a lot of things. And yes, he was abusive to me in a lot of ways, but not to that degree. So I don't know. It's weird she came at all, exactly. I know, Kaylee, but that man is dating a YouTuber who was in a public relationship, toxic relationship for a year with somebody. So that's why I'm talking about it. Meanwhile, the whole time they were like, he's such a ugly this and that, he's awfully. But then whenever I did Cuba Rage to try to vilify me for it, like, I'm sorry, but I'm done apologizing for that. I've already said sorry, and honestly, I'm sure most people have been blackout drunk and said things that were not so nice. Everything I've said about him that night, I don't take back, and obviously I felt it. The truth comes out, right? If you were with somebody who manipulated you, lied to you, and about everything, moved another woman in when you still had feelings for them, physically abused you, financially abused you, all of the things I went through that, everyone saw a lot of it. Combine that with, there was no closure at the time, and I just went to Cuba and drank a whole bottle of rum, and then beyond that, I'm not even the same effing person I was. That's over 3 years ago. How are people still gonna rub that in my face and think that matters? Okay, if you've been in an abusive relationship, Leanne, then you should know that people were also probably trying to tell you to leave, and you probably didn't the first time, right? Or let me guess, Leanne, you were probably like, oh no, I'm leaving right away. My ex hit me. Shut up, Leanne. I chased and begged. Okay. And yeah, of course, like, I was hooked, like, I was in it. You don't, like, you people are seriously, I'm sorry, but you're retarded if you think that he didn't off camera say things like love bombing constantly. I love you. I'm not seeing anyone else. Like, the lies. I want to be with only you. I want to see you every day. Blah, 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 blah. And then whenever they mess with you emotionally and leave you confused and wanting, like, you want validation from them. So the chasing you're talking about, making it look like I'm a desperate little loser, it doesn't, like, it's so crazy, the victim shaming. You people are sick.
You're stupid. All you had to do was fake love me, show me the world, and I would have probably given you everything. As stupid as that would have been.
I don't want any people clutching their pearls over the R word. Get out of here. They make it sound like I was chasing him and he wasn't giving me anything. You know, like, get out of here. Maybe not on camera a lot of the time because he was trying to make, like, obviously, because I was outing everything. He would look like an idiot. I would go online and call him, make fun of him, gonorrhea, this and that. You think he's gonna come online? Like, people are dumb. I know. Blaming the victim is like, they're so stupid.
On that account, because he actually has me blocked on my other messenger account. Like, is it not enough for me to, like, realize, like, this guy has me blocked? Like, and I'm still trying to fucking pathetically reach out to him? Like, what the fuck is wrong with my head? But he plays games too, so he's totally fucking with me. Oh, so I have to just be the one to just be like, you know. So he answered my phone call on Messenger, and then was like, I gotta call you back, and then hung up on me. Like, what? So I called him back. He was like, you're not going to, why are you calling me on my phone? Why's my phone off? So I was like, it's supposed to, I don't know, like, I turned it off, it's supposed to be on, try it, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like meanwhile, I go shower, okay? I spend time trying to pathetically reactivate his phone, like, for the 8th time. Like, tell us. The phone company had to actually send me a security code to be like, because to verify it wasn't, like, fucking fraudulent, because I suspend the phone so much. I do all that. I come back. He fucking blocks me on that other account on Messenger. You want me to reactivate your phone and then not talk to me? So then I got angry and hurt again. It just took like 10 steps back. After all the fucking suffering I did yesterday, everything I did to, like, try and make progress, just in one day felt like a fucking week. I have to do it all over again. I know, I feel, I just was, like, writing in a message, like, I'm like, you don't even miss me even a little bit. Like, you don't even care. You broke my machine. You really hurt me. You don't take ownership of your part in anything. Thank you, Nana, for blocking me everywhere, because you honestly did me a favor. Because it gave me a few more minutes to think about what I'm really doing. I really want to be the one to just be like, I walked away. I got the phone up. So I'm gonna try again, okay?
You need the person you talk about him and he don't give a fuck. Yeah. You need one to ruin his life, ruin his name for 4 months. He stabbed in his back. You stabbed in his back 4 months talking about me, and you can't sleep in my bed. You can't sleep in my bed and talk shit about me for 4 months. Are you normal?
Because you hurt me, yeah.
I heard you?
Or you do cheat shit, or you fucking cheat on me, or do something.
Cheat on you? How I cheat on you when I'm not with you? You need to fight.
You're with me, and that's why you're full of shit. If you're with me emotionally.
Even if I was chasing him, doesn't give him the right to be abusive. So what does that even matter? You focus on that, me going to his house once, looking in the window. You use that as the main focus, not what he did. You people are loser sympathizers, and you're disgusting. Like, you have no integrity as people. You're vile. You let your hate for me try to turn a victim into a villain. It's really weird. Yeah, I'm not calling anyone with a disability the R word. So I'm not your dancing monkey. This is my life. I'm a Muslim reaver. I don't care if you think I'm cosplaying. That's not true. I've been in this life for 3 years now. This is my life now. I'm never going back to that. That's closed. But I find it messed up that people want to rehash, especially things with that loser, when you were so mad at me for being with him. And now you need that for entertainment. So that means you never cared in the first place. All you cared about was the entertainment part of it, which, again, makes you a sick person. Has nothing to do with me. That's not my business. What people say about me anymore is not my business. People who defend him and try to say, well, you were to him, you were blah, blah, blah. You know, like, what? You need to really rewatch those live streams. Yeah, I'm done talking about him with reaction channels. I'm just done with everything. Like, I say that I've moved on, that I'm being a new me. I have to start living that. I have to, like, make that action.
Do you want to know why people are rehashing what happened with Nader? Because you tried to invalidate someone else's story, just because it didn't fit your idea of abuse. Because you decided to compare your toxic moments with someone else's. Nobody besides you, your slow-ass beezers, and DD were defending Nader. Nobody, and I mean nobody in Girl World, was sympathizing with Nader. Not then, not now. Everyone called it out from the very beginning. Everyone but you. You tried to find every excuse to not leave him. Let's say Chantal, was abused by Nader for argument's sake. Just like how people call out abusers, I believe the victims who go back also deserve to be called out for going back if they chose to drag outsiders into their problems. It is very obvious that going with a gentle approach does not work. They won't listen to anyone. They don't consider that they put a heavy burden and stress on other people, whether they are family or strangers online. Chantal has lied about, and for Nader even before their one-sided relationship blossomed, she continued to lie and defend the undefendable later on. He showed from the very beginning, less than a full week, that he was aggressive and insensitive, so Chantal came up with this dumb nonsense to continue to see him. She never told him that his aggressive ways was not okay. It was a day or two after they met when she started talking about marriage with him. Maybe Nader did love bomb her in the first 2 days. There is a very high possibility that that might have happened. But let's not rewrite history here. You did chase that man throughout your one-sided relationship. We called him out on his shit, and we called you out on every lie you chose to tell. And now you are sitting here rewriting events to suit your narrative by exaggerating details. For example, Nader flicked a cigarette in her direction once. Now Foodie Beauty is claiming that he put out the cigarette on her. Here is how we know she is lying. If it did happen, Chantal would have shown us where it had happened during her rage streams, because she does not have the ability to control herself, especially in that state. She had ample time and yet she didn't. Chantal cannot keep a secret to save her life, and we would find out one way or another. If you didn't try to twist what happened, nobody would be saying anything right now. If you didn't try to discredit Becky's story, nobody would be talking about Nader right now. But you can't resist the urge to shoot yourself in the foot. Now you're trying to make it seem like Girl World is sympathizing with Nader. Actual victims or perceived victims shouldn't get a pass, especially if they have your history of lying about everything. We do unfortunately have to question everything someone says when it comes to serious topics like this, as it involves another person's livelihood. And there are sick women out there who do lie about such things out of spite. Amber Heard and Blake Lively, for example. Chantal has shown us that she is capable of doing just that as well. I'm not one of those people who believe that victims of abuse deserve a pass for going back, or any indiscretion they made along the way, especially if it involves other people who have had no active involvement. And yes, that includes people on the internet. Your vulnerable state does not excuse you from being held accountable. You are an adult. The only people they need to involve are psychologists, psychiatrists, and therapists, because normal people are not equipped to deal with the mental baggage that comes with these highly sensitive and toxic situations. That's just how I view the whole dynamic. Like, don't drag me into it until you are absolutely sure you are done with him or her. I have an extremely low tolerance for such cases, because they are emotionally draining, and trust me when I say I will cut you off if you go back. And I do hold a grudge if you waste my time and deplete my emotions like that. Fun fact, Chantal tried to pay Nader $2,000 a month to have sex with her.
She offered me $2,000 to fuck her, guys. Fuck you, bye-bye. $2,000 every month just to be fuck friend. I'm not for sale.
Which would grant her access to stay in his life. Chantal never even gave him time to let him talk his way back into her life. She would throw money and gifts his way for any ounce of attention whenever he cut her off. And whenever she gave him something he really liked, that's when he'd talk to her like she is someone he decently likes or respects. He would cut her off and ignore her after he takes what she willingly offered without coercion, and she would try to find any way back into his life. She essentially bought her way back into his life every single time. She never gave him the opportunity to try and manipulate her, because she would do all the work herself. She believed what she wanted to believe. I don't know about you guys, but if my memory serves me right, aren't the abusers the ones who, after berating you and possibly physically abuse, you try to manipulate their way back into your life by appealing to your emotions or whatever would make the victim stay with them? I have never heard of victims beg and try to bargain their way back into their abuser's life when the abuser tossed them away. Correct me if I am wrong on that. And Chantal was well aware that Nader did not like her whatsoever. She wanted him to lie to her and sell her a fantasy. He would play into her delusions, as she wanted momentarily, as long as she bought him things. Now she is calling him playing into her fantasy as manipulation, when she was aware of the dynamic of their relationship. How can you be manipulated when you know exactly why he even bothers to deal with you? If Nader had continued to do what she wanted him to do, even while dealing with DD, Chantal would still be with him today, because he is giving her what she wants. Nader was and still is a piece of shit. He does not deserve anyone's forgiveness or benefit of the doubt. Foodie Beauty is an extremely unreliable narrator. She is spiteful. She will lie for and defend the undefendable when she benefits or thinks she will benefit from them. She is hypocritical and vile. Chantal is where she is right now with the Nader situation, because of the decisions she chose to make during and years after it all happened. You cannot blame us for not taking your word for it, because you choose to be dishonest even now. And you don't deserve grace, because you have none to give to anyone else besides yourself. You didn't have any for May, Dee, or Becky. Our actions, regardless of our mental state, have consequences, and we must accept the fact that we play a part in our own misery. We can only learn and be better once we take responsibility and accountability. But we know Foodie Beauty will never do any of that. She is incapable of reflecting upon her actions and taking responsibility. She is incapable of understanding concepts of self, morals, values, and cognitive empathy. She is a victim of her own stupidity, a victim of her desperation, a victim of her poor self-concept, a victim of her impulsive and repulsive behaviors, and a victim of her insecurities. Foodie Beauty has no one else besides herself to blame for why her credibility is in the pits of hell. Thank you for watching.